the stick nobody wanted to hold. Let's talk about the one part of history textbooks always skip. Because we love talking about ancient wars, ancient emperors, ancient inventions. Nobody wants to talk about ancient bathroom breaks. Well, today, we're talking about it. Let's start in ancient Rome. Because Rome gave us aqueducts, concrete, and roads that still exist today. Surely they figured out toilet paper too, right? Not exactly. Instead, the Romans used something called a tersorium. A stick, with a sea sponge tied to the end. You used it. You rinsed it in a shared bucket of vinegar water. And you put it back. For the next person. I need you to sit with that for a second. One sponge. One bucket. An entire public bathroom's worth of strangers. Archaeologists have literally found roundworm and whipworm eggs preserved in Roman latrine drains. So the next time someone complains about a public restroom having no soap, remind them it could be worse. They could be handed the community stick. The emperor who taxed pee but sponges on sticks weren't even the strangest part of Roman bathroom culture. Because the Romans didn't just tolerate urine. They collected it. On purpose. Public urinals across Rome were connected to collection pots. And that urine was sold to launderers, who used the ammonia to whiten and clean togas. To tanners, who used it to treat leather. This wasn't a weird side hustle. It was a legitimate industry. So legitimate that in the year 70 AD, the Emperor Vespasian placed a tax on it. His son complained that taxing urine was disgusting. So Vespasian held up a gold coin and asked if it smelled like anything. His son said no. And Vespasian replied, "Yet it comes from urine." That phrase still gets quoted today. Money doesn't stink. Even when it very much started out that way. The civilization that was embarrassingly ahead of schedule now, you'd assume Rome was the peak of ancient bathroom technology. You'd be wrong. Because over 1,000 years earlier, a civilization already had them beat. The Indus Valley Civilization, around 2500 BCE. The cities of Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa. Almost every home had a toilet connected to a shared sewage system. You poured water from a jar to flush. It ran through a brick pipe into a shared covered drain, which carried the waste completely out of the city. Let that sink in. Working flush toilets. Underground sewage infrastructure. Before the pyramids of Giza were even finished. Meanwhile, over 3,000 years later, medieval Europe would look at all of this progress, and somehow manage to forget it completely. The job nobody wanted to have welcomed to the Middle Ages. Where indoor plumbing was apparently considered witchcraft. Castles used something called a garderobe. A small stone toilet seat built directly into the wall. With a straight drop down into the moat. Yes. The moat. The same moat surrounding the castle for protection. One castle in England had 28 of these toilets, all draining into the water below. Suddenly, don't fall in the moat makes a lot more sense. Inside the home, people used chamber pots. Emptied every morning, directly out the window. Onto the street. There was even a warning people shouted first. Guard loo. Roughly translated, watch out below. And somebody had to deal with all of it. That person had an actual job title. A gong farmer. Someone paid to climb into cesspits at night and remove waste by hand. Only allowed to work between 9 at night and 5 in the morning, so nobody had to smell it, or them, during the day. History does not tell us how they felt about their career choice. So let's recap human bathroom history. A shared sponge on a stick. A tax on urine. Advanced sewage systems, invented, then somehow forgotten. And a job that involved climbing into medieval sewage at midnight. Next time your bathroom doesn't have paper towels, I need you to have some perspective. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the parts of history nobody teaches you, subscribe for more videos exploring the strange, uncomfortable truths behind human survival and history. And here's a question for you. Out of everything in this video, would you rather use the community sponge or take the job as a gong farmer? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next adventure.